A quick reaction to Real Sociedad versus Real Madrid.
His new team have had a perfect start under him in La Liga with 3 wins from 3. Picking up the action here in the 12th minute. Yeah. Mbappe is going to say thanks for that. 1-0.
Assist of the week. I don't think a Real Madrid player could play a better through ball for Kylian Mbappe as Real Sociedad did here. Gotti with the through ball and then the speed of Mbappe, and from then on, a lot of confidence in the finish, 1-0. Beautifully taken from Mbappe. Awful from Real Sociedad.
So Real Madrid's first goal, Mbappe's goal. Yes, it was an assist from Real Sociedad, but don't give Mbappe discredit because of the assist is given by Sociedad, because that finishing and that control from there is the most important aspect of this goal. One thing is, we can say that from Mbappe's goal is that the confidence we are seeing from Mbappe is just in another level compared to last season. If you compare his first half of the season from last season, not good. He was lacking confidence. He looked overweight. Now it's just opposite. He lost some weight, and which is helping him a lot. And this is one of the best Mbappe that we are seeing now, and this is what we exactly expected from last season.
And then we are going to see what would be a long clearance here from Zubeldia. It falls to Mikel Oyarzabal, and then he's dragged back here by Dean Huijsen, and he gets a straight red for this.
That is never, ever, ever a red card. Never. Now, it's a yellow, and it's poor play defensive from Dean Huijsen. He should never take down Mikel Oyarzabal because Oyarzabal cannot run away from anybody. But Eder Militao is on the angle. And Mikel Oyarzabal still has to go 30 yards to get himself in a clear goal scoring opportunity. It should never have been a red card. I'm surprised that VAR doesn't get involved. So is Xabi Alonso, regardless. A man down Real Madrid.
Yes.
To be honest, I don't have anything to add what Elias said. He was just on point. How this is a red card, I just do not understand. So this is one of those matches that you can think of. Okay, we are not playing against 11 players. This is now 10 versus 12 players. Sociedad has not one man advantage, now 2, because the referee is playing with them. How on the art this is a red card, I do not understand. And the worst of it, there is no VAR check. Why not? You have to confirm that this is actually a red card offense. Okay, yellow, 100%. But there's absolutely no way, there's no reason why this is happening with Real Madrid. And once we're one man down, like, it's impossible to compete with 12 players, right? 10 versus 12, that's totally unfair.
Xabi Alonso with a yellow there for dissent. Mbappe is going to find Guler here. That made it 2-0 low.
Beautiful turn from Kylian Mbappe in a really tight area. Runs in behind, little diagonal movement, dip of the shoulder. Defender goes diving for the ball, doesn't quite get there. And then a gorgeous touch from Arda Guler, 2-0.
And this cross comes in here, but comes...
Again, the second goal, if you see, the difference is the confidence from Kylian Mbappe. What an amazing player. What a agility, control, the trickery, and faking the defender. And defender is like, oh, I'm laying on the floor. I have no chance. This is the Mbappe we were expecting, and now we are seeing the result. Having confidence and having trust in the players, that's key. One thing that we have to say that Xabi has done some changes, some tactical changes that we have noticed even from this play. If you closely look at the play, the diagonal running Mbappe is making is very different from what we saw in last season. Even in the first half, we saw a few diagonal runs from the right side, even from the left side. This is some of the tactical changes is noticeable.
Mbappe's strong start continues for Real Madrid. Real Madrid perfect as it stands in La Liga so far. 4 from 4 for them, and a win today, even though they finished the game with 10 men. Mario and Sid are still with us here. Mario, been a strong start under Xabi Alonso for Real Madrid. They're leading the way as it stands right now.
Yes, they must be happy with Xabi Alonso. You know, Real Madrid is what we were talking in Mallorca. They don't need to play well to to win in matches. You have the best striker in the world and you have the best goalkeeper in the world. And even with the red card, with one less player, that is not red card never, as Ale said, they are finding the way to win in the matches, because if we are honest, they didn't play well or a complete match in these four matches that they already played, but they have 12 points and they are in the first position on the league. So it's true that they have to improve some things, to improve fitness for sure, to improve the way they play. But I think Xabi Alonso must be happy, and the Real Madrid fans, they must be happy with Xabi Alonso.
Let me tell you someone who isn't happy right now. It is Barcelona coach.
So if you remember, this is the guy, Mario Suarez, who predicted that Real Madrid will finish third in La Liga, below Atletico Madrid, who is probably in their worst form this season so far. So you can say it clearly from his facial expression that he's not happy that Real Madrid is winning almost every game, no matter how, but they're winning, which is the most important characteristic to win title, right? So he's not happy because his prediction is probably not going the way he expected. Anyway, put that aside. Today there are a lot of positives we can talk about. For example, first half performance. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. We're playing a little bit different. We're playing a lot of diagonal balls. We're creating vertical passes. We're creating some of the good chances, and players are making some very beautiful runs, right? But after the red card, it's different game, because you know that 10 versus 12 players is not easy to play. However, at the end of the day, we prevailed and we won the game. Now, in first half, we saw some of the diagonal ball to the right side, like from midfield or defense to the attacking, like to Mbappe or even some Vini. I think those are some of the things that we want to see more and more, especially against a stronger team. Now, Sociedad is probably the strongest in terms of attacking wise so far, all the La Liga teams we played. So we played really decent until that referee, right? Referee thought, okay, we cannot let Real Madrid play the way they are playing. We have to stop it. Now, going to the second half, this is where things becomes more complicated. The performance is a little bit different than we expected. Again, not totally surprising, right? As I said, 10 versus 12, very difficult to play. And most importantly, we considered totally unnecessary penalty. Again, the culprit is no other than Carvajal. If I recall, like last few years ago, when we used to concede one penalty, who was responsible? It's Carvajal. Again, things like this happen. I think so far, if I'm not mistaken, we have considered 2 La Liga so far, which is already an improvement over last season. Defensively, we are playing better. That's 100%. The only thing that I am still looking for improvement at midfield. First of all, the lineup. The lineup was pretty surprising. Like some of the changes that we barely used to see, these kind of changes. In fact, I think we should do more this kind of rotation when you have so many games in hand. Regardless, another player we saw, Brahim Diaz, who I said many times, I like his performance as a super sub. But when it comes to as a starting player, I don't know. I felt like when Brahim was playing today, we were playing one player less. So after red card, it was technically 9 players. But Brahim, we barely see him doing anything. Not creating chance, not dribbling. I do not understand what he's trying to do. Again, I understand from Xabi's point of view, he wanted to do some rotation. But one thing we can infer that probably he is not the right person to do rotation with, especially against a stronger team like Sociedad. He can play some like bus parking team, that's fine. But I would like to see different players than Brahim Diaz. I just don't think he's the right material to play as a starting lineup or as a starting player. But the most important aspect of today's game is the performance, right? And you know, the man of the match, the Mbappe. The player I talk a lot. In fact, before his signing, I made tons of video. He will join, he will not join, so all kind of rumors. And there's a reason why I did that. In my opinion, after Messi and CR7's departure from the top football, he is the best player. He has something that makes you excited to watch football. He reminds me of R9, the way he moved, the acceleration, so amazing, the agility. I don't have, I do not have enough adjectives to describe Mbappe. So far this season, what we have only seen 4 matches, right? But in my opinion, if we take into account all the performance of all the players, one player is totally outlier the way he's playing is Mbappe. It's like Mbappe is playing for Real Madrid and he's leading the team. That's the most important aspect. And a lot of times people undermine his leadership capacity or abilities or capabilities. For example, when he made that amazing, beautiful goal for Arda Guler, he was celebrating, right? In the left side with Ceballos and Vinicius. They're all celebrating together. And then he realized that Arda Guler is in the other side. And he ran to Arda Guler and celebrated again with Arda Guler, which shows the leadership qualities of top player. Although the media like ESPN always try to undermine this kind of aspect, he think he's a bad guy, he's a bad player, he's a bad teammate. He always think about himself, he's selfish. But the reality is totally different. He's one of those guys, very humble and down to the earth. He actually care about this team. That's the most important aspect. And there's another player that's kind of shocked me today. I didn't expect this. I thought he's gone. 2 back-to-back injury, right? ACL injury. You don't expect that this player will be back. We thought he's just maybe he was a super sub, maybe he will be a sub. But under Xabi, he's getting his confidence back and probably one of the best performance defensive-wise we saw from Militao since his ACL injury. And he plays superb today. Physicality and technical abilities and even heading opportunities in first half. That's fantastic. If we can have the best out of Militao and we have Heisen, 2 of the best defensive like combo, that would be something we have to be excited about. Because some of the players like Rudiger, I don't know, I just do not like his performance nowadays. You saw his performance against Germany. Almost gone. His confidence is almost gone. And he's also injured. Another point in tactically we talk about, Xabi was coached by a lot of top. You can think about Pep. You can talk about Jose Mourinho. You can talk about Carlo Ancelotti. And he has a lot of different coach, right? And so it can be understood that he will have different capacities, different teaching from different coaches. And today what we saw today in second half, pure Mourinho. Pure just defending. Like you saw Alaba and you saw 2 left back, like Fran Garcia, and you saw Arnold, so defensive, almost no midfield, almost no attacking, just maintain the lead and just finish the game, get the 3 points, job done. I think it's one of those skills you need to have because sometimes you just cannot play best football. It's impossible to play when you have one man down. It's okay. Although there are some points I have to disagree with him. For example, I did not like the way he played Fran Garcia as a kind of like 2 left back or left winger after subbing off Vinicius. I think that's not a good idea. It caused a lot of problems. Carrera and he has positioning issue. They did not know what to do, who should track back. They were more confused. I think instead we should have subbed in Rodrigo, who was sitting in the bench. So that's one mistake I say. Again, this is a learning curve, Xabi, right? He is not used to coaching top team. When you coach a team like Real Madrid, you improve over time. So this is probably one of his learning curve. The other point I did not like from Xabi's tactics is the playing Fede kind of at right mid or right winger. A lot of time he was going on the right side. I do not enjoy seeing Fede at that position. I just think it's waste of Fede's talent. His best position is at midfield. A player who will get the ball, who will win the ball, and takes the ball forward, makes some good pass, and at times he will score from the midfield. That's what Fede is about. So playing him at the right side, I just think it's waste of time. The last point I would say, Xabi had amazing tactics first half, even second half. The way he had the defensive structure, I think that's something really okay. If we have a bad moment, we can win the game. That's the most important, right? It's not about winning when you are in the best form. It's about winning when you are not the best. So that's the biggest takeaway from today's match. At the same time, when we have only one goal advantage over Sociedad. I just felt, just think about if they would score one more goal, it'd be 2-2. But given we have taken away most of the creative players who will create chance, and there's almost no attacking other than Mbappe. If we were to go forward again to score one more goal to win the game, that would be very difficult. So for me, hopefully Javi improves this aspect and have a better game plan how to manage this situation in the future. At the same time, I'm happy so far what we have seen from Javi, and he has shown a lot of tactical changes, a lot of modification, and he's not. The most important thing is that he is very flexible. He's not the way I expected. I thought he was very stubborn coach. He has one fixed style. He'll only play five defensive line. That's it. But we saw totally different, right? He's very flexible, which is to me very very good. Anyway, let me know what do you think about our performance today.